How reliable is a 10-year-old Tesla Model S actually been? What was normal maintenance, so what has genuinely failed? And no, I'm not counting windscreen washer fluid. So before we get into that, let's take this thing for a drive.
I did it all, I played pretend, I moved the mountains to be your friend. I won I would have gone to war for you, I would have been the...
This is my Tesla Model S 85D, all-wheel drive, still has the original battery and has now covered 230,000 kilometres. It was already a high mileage car when I bought it, which is exactly why people assumed it would become a money pit. So what has genuinely failed? The main mechanical problem has been from a much more ordinary part in the front suspension. Control arms under here is the main thing, which is not shocking on a car that's done this mileage. My mistake was trying to buy cheaper parts and save some money. And this cheap part cost me 2 repairs in just 3 months. This car also has air suspension, another system that can become expensive with age. So far, it raises, it lowers, it remembers locations as it should. The premium audio, which actually is fantastic. And the front heated seats, climate control and the parking sensors also continue to work. The other expensive fear is the drive units. On this car, both motors are still working. The charging system still works, CCS charging works, has been additionally fitted. The car still has free supercharging. There's been no high voltage system failures and no major drivetrain failure or repair during my ownership. Then there is normal maintenance. I brought winter tyres and wheels because I drive in proper winter conditions. I replaced the cabin air filter, topped up the windscreen fluid, and no, I'm not counting windscreen washer fluid as a reliability problem. None of that is Tesla failure. Every car needs tyres, filters and fluids. I've also spent money on upgrades. I originally removed the centre console, even though I did like it, and I fitted a newer style console with the rear cup holders. Again, that was not a repair, I simply preferred the newer design. The navigation, another one. This was a different one. In Ukraine, obviously things didn't work. They stopped the maps back in 2019. So I actually had to get the maps downgraded so the navigation actually worked. Is that perfect? No. Is it catastrophic? Absolutely not. But the failures people warned me about simply haven't happened. Thankfully, this one has been far more reliable than I actually expected. I'll tell you one thing that does really annoy me though. This, every time you go around a corner, squeaky chair. Everyone else get that? So, the Tesla did need suspension work, but buying cheap parts I fitted obviously didn't help. Would I tell everyone to buy a high mileage Tesla? No. You need to check the battery, the suspension, the charging system, electronics and service history. Based on high mileage alone, doesn't make the Model S a disaster. So far, buying it wasn't a mistake. On one of the trips to England, the trip was cut short, but only because someone decided to smash my window. And this unfortunately stopped my trip to England in Germany. I had to drive all the way back to Ukraine, actually with no window, which at the time I think it was about 5 degrees and got even colder and was raining. It was miserable, noisy, but definitely memorable. And that belongs in the category of bad luck. So the next job is the front and rear brake pads and the pins, hoping they're not stuck. So I've already got the parts for this. I'll film the complete job. And in fact, this is the first time they've been changed in 235,000 kilometres. So the reality, for a 10-year-old Tesla with 230,000 kilometres, surprisingly, little has gone wrong.